I wait for you. I'll take give me a license, it's too expensive. I'll take care of that. All blessings on mine. I'll take care of that. Give me a license, it's too expensive. What's up, y'all? Good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing? My demons stop scaring. I'll take precaution. Good evening, y'all. What's up? Good evening. Happy Wednesday. It's Wound Care Wednesday. What's up? I'll take lessons. Give me a license. It's too expensive. I'll take LJ. All blessings alright. I'll take LJ. Give me a license. It's too expensive. I'll take LJ. Hey y'all, what's up? Good evening. I will take the L and still win. I will take the L and I will take the L and still win. Sorry, y'all, my tongue green from something I was drinking, y'all. Don't worry about that. I just realized that. I will take the L and still win. I'll take care of you. Give me a license. All right, y'all. All right. Good evening. How are y'all doing? Thank you for being here with me tonight, this evening, taking a little time out. All right. I'm going to turn the music down just a little more. Can y'all hear me? Are y'all able to hear me fine? Anyway, tonight, I actually, it's just been on my mind lately. Well, actually, first of all, sorry. Let me introduce myself for people who don't know me. My name is Shelby, the Healing Empress. Okay. And I started this channel initially just to tell my story because I felt God laid it on my heart to share my story with other people because I know there's some other people going through the same things that I went through. As far as healing issues with self-worth and self-esteem and all that stuff. And one of my struggles actually has been kind of like just in between religion and spirituality. That's something that has kind of just been like a weird space for me that I've been, just looking more into. So that's what I want to talk about tonight is just, spirituality and religion. And first, I just want to read y'all something, a journal entry that I wrote on March 13th. Sorry, March 13th of this year. Okay. When I talk about God, it's not because I'm trying to convince you that He exists. I'm not trying to convert you to any religion. I'm not religious myself at all. I don't talk about God to get an applause or because it's the thing to do. I talk about God because I can't talk about my life without mentioning Him. All the times He blessed me when I felt undeserving, the times He protected me and I didn't even realize. I talk about God because even when I wasn't praying, He was there. Even when I didn't thank Him, He was there. Anytime I need Him, He's always been there and been here for me. He loved me when I didn't love myself. He has been opening my eyes, opening doors, illuminating the pathway just for me. So how can I not give Him the glory? God has been so good to me, even at times when I had no idea what was going on. I think a lot of times people only associate God with religion. but he is literally a part of everything we do, whether you believe it or not. There is a higher power, and that can't be denied. Some of the things I've experienced, only God knows about, and only he could have gotten me through. So this is when I talk about God, it's like I can't mention my healing journey and the things that I've been delivered from, the things that I've learned, the things that I've experienced. I can't talk about none of that without talking about God. And let me see. Today I was just kind of researching because I never really put that much thought into like religion versus spirituality, like as far as like doing super duper research or nothing like that. I really didn't. But today I was just, looking up religion and spirituality and just seeing like what's the similarities and the differences and stuff like that. And so basically religion is just it's an organized set of beliefs. Okay. I'm gonna just read what I wrote here. Okay. So I just looked up the definition of organized religion on Google, child. Okay, it's a structured system of faith or worship, especially one followed by a large number of people. A religion in which belief systems and rituals are systemically arranged and formally established, typically by an official doctrine, a hierarchical, sorry, I can't say the word, or a bureaucratic leadership structure, and a codification of proper and improper behavior. Okay, when I looked up the definition for spirituality, it says the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things, a dimension of life beyond what we experience on the sensory and physical levels. All right. So I wanted to know, like, okay, well, what's the difference between religion and spirituality? And I'm sorry, I can't even cite what website I saw this on, but basically it was saying religion is connecting to the divine through what is taught, and spirituality is connected through what is experienced. Okay. So for me, honestly, the majority of my family identifies as Christians. I grew up with people who identify as Christians or around people who identify as Christians. Okay. And I'm just going to read to y'all a little something. I was just like kind of thinking out loud on my paper, okay, in my journal. And I'm just going to share with y'all some things that I wrote down, okay? And please, disclaimer, I'm not judging nobody. And this is not I'm not trying to say that one is wrong over the other. Okay, I'm just simply just expressing my thoughts. And these are the type of things that just be going through my mind, okay? Okay, so growing up, I saw people praise the Lord at church, believe and go back to gossiping, betraying family members, being mean for no reason, holding grudges, being fake and phony, cheating, etc. Just the list goes on, okay? So for a long time, that's why I associated Christians with, because that's what I saw a lot of times. As I got older, I also met others that identified as Christians, but were very judgmental and used their identity as a Christian to condemn others or to project some kind of superiority over others. Now, of course, I knew that not all who identify as Christian had these same characteristics, but I met enough to know that that's not how I wanted to live my life. Growing up, it actually pushed me away from the church and religious practices. It wasn't until I began to learn God for myself, to form my own personal relationship, despite things I saw or heard people say. In the last couple of years, I started seeking my own answers, and that's what brought me to my spirituality. I started realizing that when you have a relationship with Him, not from what other people told you, not from what you read, but from your own experiences, that's when you really see for yourself what it means to follow God, what it means for Him to lead you. You fear disappointing Him because, in essence, it will be disappointing yourself. Finding my way back to myself was only possible with the help of God. Excuse me. and my divine spirit team. Okay, I do believe in one universal God, and I also believe that there are spiritual beings in other realms that help us navigate this human experience. When you understand that everything is connected, when you truly surrender, well, I can't talk. When you truly surrender your soul to God, you understand that your internal world manifests things in your external reality. You understand that the same energy you put out will be what is given to you in one form or another. So if you're putting negative energy out, judging people, belittling others, lying, being sneaky, that shit is going to come right back on you, baby. It's going to come right back on you. And I know that people say that when people say God knows my heart, that's something that I say all the time. God knows my heart. And I truly believe that. But a lot of people believe that, people just say that to get away with doing whatever. Okay. But I don't believe that. When I say that God knows my heart, you know, sorry, I'm just reading what I wrote at the same time. But when I say God knows my heart, God knows the intentions behind my actions. He knows that it's coming from a sincere place. Okay. And I know that some people use that line as a way to, as an excuse to just do whatever they really, really want to do. But it's God is not focused on what we're presenting to the world, what we're presenting to others. God cares about how you are behind closed doors when nobody is watching. What are your real intentions behind certain actions? What are your real thoughts? Because a lot of times I feel people put on this facade. They wear masks around other people because they want to be seen in a certain light. They want to be seen a certain way, but behind closed doors, they secretly wishing on your downfall. They secretly jealous of you, or they secretly hoping that you do good, but you don't do better than them. Like, God is not worried about our accolades and all the different things that we accomplish externally. Of course, all those things are amazing. But at the end of the day, God is looking at our heart, okay? He's looking at what's inside. All right, what's inside? But hold on, let me see. Okay. I kind of say all this stuff, okay? Okay. So I'm going to just start here. He doesn't care what your accolades are or that you can recite the whole Bible. God cares about our heart and what's internal, not the facade you present to others. The person you are when no one is looking, your integrity, your morals, how you treat others, how you treat yourself, your relationship with him, your relationship with him. Because a lot of times people say, oh, well, I go to church and I read the Bible, but they don't really have necessarily a relationship with him. They say these things because it sounds good, because that's what you're supposed to say when you are practicing certain religion. You're supposed to say, well, yeah, I go to church. Well, yeah, I know the Bible. I can recite this Bible verse and that Bible verse, but they don't be living by those verses, but only when it's convenient. Okay. But I believe that we are all here to experience being human. So that doesn't mean with absolutely no regards to doing what's right. I'm not saying that we're just here to be human and do whatever the hell we want to do and treat people however and whatever. Of course, you have to with genuine intentions. Okay, like I don't believe that we're meant to live a super strict life with all these certain restrictions and all that stuff, no sex or no sex before marriage or no sex at all in certain religions. If you're at a certain status, you can't have sex at all. No alcohol, no partying, no smoking, no this, no that. I don't believe that you just have to do all of that in order to serve God and please God. I believe that, of course you have to do everything in moderation. Of course you can't overdo stuff. We're not supposed to be overdoing stuff. And as long as you're being safe about it, you're not doing something that's harming yourself, harming other people, And you just here enjoying life, enjoying this human vessel, okay? Like, that's why we're here, to enjoy the human things on this earth, okay? Um, Sorry, y'all, I'm going back to referencing when I was in my little thoughts in my journal today. Okay. Okay. So I don't think there's anything wrong with organized religion at all. It's just the people who use it to judge and condemn others that raises an eyebrow for me. That's what kind of deters me from being a part of organized religion sometimes, is because I see the way that people have judged others so harshly because of decisions that they have made. But a lot of times people forget that they were once young too, making the same, silly mistakes and poor decisions. But people have to learn from their decisions. Who are we to say that we're better than somebody because, oh, well, I identify as Christian, identify as Catholic, I identify as this, so it makes me better than you because I go to church all the time and I know the Bible. That don't make you better than nobody, baby. It don't make you better. I'm glad that you have those practices. I'm glad that you have something that that guides you and helps you connect to God, but that doesn't make you better than anybody. And I feel like a lot of times in religion, people will judge you so harshly, and it makes you like, dang, well, if that's what they teaching you in this religion, I don't want to be a part of it. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. And it wasn't until I started having my own experiences with God when I truly start realizing just how much God was in my life, just how protected I am, how guided I am, just how loved I am, just we are how we're never alone and we're always supported. It was just this overwhelming feeling when I started really, delving deep into my spirituality and really just looking for answers for myself about myself. And it's been, man, it's been a roller coaster. Okay. And I also believe that God communicates with us in various ways because I've experienced it for myself. One way that he's spoken to me a lot is through tarot cards. Okay. And I know in Christianity, like tarot and mediumship and all that type of spiritual stuff is kind of looked on as taboo and evil and all that stuff. But baby, oh, excuse me, sorry, y'all. It's nothing evil about anything that I practice personally. I know that there are people who, practice black magic and they are into that, that kind of dark stuff and trying to mess with people's free will. I'm not into none of that stuff. And I think it kind of limits you sometimes when, you know, people automatically shut down things that they really don't understand, or they just go by what they've been told. They've never experienced it for themselves. But I've gotten so many answers and so much guidance through tarot, through using crystals. Like, I'm into all that spiritual shit, y'all. Crystals and sage and Palo Santo. And it's just so many different ways, different divination tools that we can use to receive guidance from God, and to just limit ourselves to such a small box because that's what we've been taught, because that's what somebody else told us. It limits yourself, and God is limitless, baby. There are so many avenues to learn God, so many avenues that God will lead you, and God will literally use anybody, okay? He will use anybody to get his messages across. So don't ever let anybody make you feel that you are less than just because you don't know the Bible or just because you don't go to church. Everybody has different relationships with God. They have different ways of connecting with him. And who am I to say that your way is wrong and my way is right? That's not for me. That's not for me to judge. That's really not my business. Okay. It's really not my business. But everybody to their own. I just hate for people to use religion to shame others. The same people who be shaming others because of religion or because they are so supposedly devout Christians are the same people that I have seen talk shit about the person that they just left from smiling in their face. And now they talking shit about them. Make it make sense. Because I know that's not what they're teaching in Christianity. I know that's not the purpose of the religion. It's not made to exclude people. It's made to bring people together. Unconditional love, forgiveness, grace, mercy. Child. It's sad. Like some of the most judgmental people I have met have been Christians. And again, I'm not saying none of this I'm not trying to bash anybody or bash anybody's beliefs. You know, people believe what they want to believe. I'm just speaking from my experience, and not all Christians that I have interacted with have been this way. But I know that a lot of Christians and very religious people have been some of the most judgmental people that I have encountered. And I just know for me personally, that's not for me. It's not for me. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So I went off on a tangent. I was talking about, ways that God communicates with me. Okay. I was talking about, tarot and stuff like that. And, other ways God communicates with me is through other people, through videos, including online sermons. Even though I don't consider myself Christian, I listen to like Christian R&B, Christian rap, just feel good music. I like to listen to stuff and ingest things that feeds my soul, that makes me feel good. Like, why am I going to be listening to something that makes me feel shitty? Like, that's just going to bring my vibration down. And when you're feeling crappy like that, other negative things, you're just going to be a magnet for those negative things. You're going to be a magnet. And not saying that, okay, we are never supposed to be down and be sad, and that's a part of being human, is feeling all these emotions. But what's important is that you don't allow yourself to sit there and fester in that energy and just be sulking. Okay, feel your feelings, work your way through it, but baby, don't stay there, because the longer you stay there, the longer you're going to just be manifesting those negative things. You're just going to be attracting those negative things towards you. And we don't want that, baby. We don't want that, do we? No, we don't. We don't. Okay. So I believe that we all have the ability to interpret signs from God when we are intentional and pay attention. I believe that we are all chosen. All of us are chosen. But some of us just decide to delve deeper than others and put certain beliefs into practice. There is literally nothing I do or practice that involves any type of evil. This goes back to when I said earlier about the tarot cards, and a lot of Christians and other religions, whatever, may deem it as evil. But there's literally nothing I do or practice that involves any type of evil or doing anything to affect someone's free will. Granted, there are people who practice that kind of stuff, but like I mentioned earlier, when you understand how energy works, you understand that the shit you do, whether good or bad, will come back to you. It will come back to you. Okay, baby? And I love God and myself too much to create. Why am I going to create bad karma for myself? Why am I going to do that? Why am I do that? I've repeated so many cycles and completed so many cycles. So why would I wish bad on somebody or try to sabotage someone? Why? Why would I do that? Why would I do that, child? That's just gonna come back on me. And I'm not trying to. I'm all about my peace, baby. it's taken a long time to cultivate this level of peace, this level of joy that I feel all over my spirit, all over my soul. It's like, that's why I can't talk about this journey without talking about God, because I can feel him all over my spirit. So it's like, um, why would I do something to jeopardize the feeling that I've cultivated when it has taken me so long to get here? It's taken me a long time to get here, baby. Okay. Cause you know how I don't know if y'all ever heard, like, somebody, you deal with somebody who's spiritual or whatever, then y'all break up and stuff start happening to you. Now all of a sudden you looking at the spiritual person's side eye like they didn't put some voodoo on you. Baby, that ain't I look, that ain't the type of spiritual girl I am, okay? Because if you leave me and bad shit start happening to you, that's probably your karma. You must have been you must have been doing something that you wasn't supposed to be doing, and now it's coming back on you, and now you're thinking it's me. Baby, it ain't me, because I love myself too much to create karma for you. Obviously, it wasn't worth it because we're not together no more. So like, why would I jeopardize my own well-being to get revenge on somebody else? Karma comes back, baby. Karma comes back on you. Whatever you put out into the universe is going to come back to you, whether it's good or whether it's bad, baby. It's coming back. So you just got to be mindful of your thoughts. You got to be mindful of your actions. Like, you got to be mindful, baby, because thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the likes. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. So those of you that are maybe just joining, I'm just talking about I was just thinking out loud earlier and just jotting some things down in my journal, because I was, just thinking about, spirituality versus religion, and just thinking about my experiences, my past experiences, and how I got here, like how I got to believe what I believe and things like that. So I'm just, you know, reading through my thoughts. Okay. So, excuse me. Okay. So like I said, y'all, I just know I love God and I love what he's done for me. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I just know that the feeling I'm feeling so deep inside of me, just feel it all over my body and my spirit. It's a feeling that only God can provide. And I know I got here, and I know I got here by being curious. Curious about who I am and how I got here, both physically and non-physically. I started asking myself questions like why I react or overreact or reacted in certain situations. What does Shelby really want to do? Okay, sorry, y'all. What does Shelby really want to do? What do I want my life to look like? Why am I repeating cycles? Why? Like, I started asking all the whys, okay? And that's when I decided I was going to live my life on my terms. But initially, when I decided this, the one thing that I was leaving out was putting God first, putting God as a priority. Okay. So at that time, I had no real spiritual practices. I was praying here and there, and I should have been praying way more, because God got me through a lot of times, a lot of rough times that I know it was only him. I know it was only him. And I'm being led to share a story that I really don't care to share, but God has placed it on my heart for me to share. I literally have never even written it in my journal, because I've shared it with a couple of, close people, but I haven't really shared it publicly, and I don't want to, but God is leading me to share it because maybe somebody out there, needs to hear it. But it was just a way that, God was trying to get my attention. Okay. So I went out with one of my homegirls. Okay, I went out with one of my homegirls, and we had a good time or whatever. And I still once that place was closed, I was still feeling hype. I still wanted to hang out. And once when I started doing travel nursing, like 4 or 5 years ago, I started going out by myself a lot. So this particular night, I went out with my homegirl, and I was like, I feel like I still want to dance or whatever. So I decided to go to another spot solo, and she went home. So that time I was dating a guy. He was supposedly out with his friends too. So I text him, let him know like, hey, I'm going, such and such, whatever. So just letting you know, because my mom always told me. She always told me when you go out by yourself, let at least one person know where you're at. So that's something I still live by right now. I don't care how grown I get. Like, that's something that I still live by. Like, so, of course, the guy that I'm dating, like, so I'm just updating him. All right, boom. I get to the club or whatever. And I had a few drinks in the first spot. I had a few drinks there, I'm feeling good, whatever. Get to the next spot, whatever. I'm in the line, and there's a guy in front of me, and I just asked him like, hey, do you know how much it is to get in, whatever. He's like 40. So I said, okay, cool, whatever. So I'm standing there, and he's like, oh, are you by yourself? And I say, yeah. Of course, I know I probably shouldn't have said, yeah, I'm by myself, but me, if you know me personally, then you know that like I'm just a friendly person. Maybe I've been like way too trusting in the past. Maybe some people can call me naive, but I have been like very friendly. I just love meeting new people, men and women. So I was in a line, told me he asked me if I was by myself. I said, yeah. So he said, well, I'm gonna get a section. I'm gonna get a bottle. So, just come to my section. Okay, cool. I let him know like, hey, well, I got a boyfriend, so I'm not trying to lead you on. Like, this is not that type of, situation. And he assured me like, no, like it's not like that. Like, I'm getting a section. I got some more people coming through, and you by yourself. So, just come, whatever. So I hit the dude up that I was dating, and just updating him like, hey, this dude invited me to his section, whatever, letting him know like this and that. Now, mind you, apparently it's a big deal to some people, like going into someone's section or whatever. But me growing up, like when I was in like my early 20s and stuff, going into people's section had nothing to do with like sex or whatever. People want pretty women in their section for aesthetics or whatever. I grew up in Miami, so that's just a normal thing. Like, I don't associate it with anything. It's just a normal whatever. So anywho, I let him know, where I was and what I was doing, and he didn't respond, whatever. So, go inside the club, whatever, in the guys section, in the guys section. And actually one of the girls who had came that he said, was coming, was one of the girls that I was dancing with in the first place that I went to with my friend. So I was like, oh snap, like that's the same girl I was dancing with. So I'm like, okay, it's a vibe. So, she dancing with him, we all dancing, whatever. And we took a shot. I don't remember what it was, a shot of. And after that, I don't remember anything. I literally blacked out. Like, I don't remember leaving the club. I woke up, and I was in this guy's car in the back seat. He was driving, and the girl that I had met at the first place and was here like at the second place, um the girl that I met, no. So my bad. So the guy that was at the I apologize, y'all. So the guy that was that invited me to the section, and the girl that I was dancing with at the first place and at the second place, so they were in the car, and when I came to, she was being dropped off at her car, and he was the one that was driving. So the only way I came to was my phone was ringing. My phone was ringing, and it was the guy that I was dating. He was calling me. And that's when I realized, like, yo, where am I? Like, where am I? How did I get here? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, I literally woke up not knowing what was going on. Okay. And that was scary. Of course, that was scary as hell. And I know that I should never have, I know I could take accountability and say that I had myself in, a situation where my safety was jeopardized. Like, I could have been kidnapped, I could have been raped, I could have been murdered, I could have been trafficked, I could have any literally anything could have happened to me. And even though that experience was very embarrassing, very humbling for me, it was very eye-opening for me. It was very eye-opening just how much God has his hands in my life, just how much he's been protecting me from harm. And I think a lot of times we take our lives for granted, and he just gives us so much grace and so much mercy. And I think sometimes we kind of forget that, and just take it for granted, all the good things that God has done for us. And it's things like that um just have helped me really see who God is in my life. And everything that I have learned has come from experience. Nothing that I've learned about God has come from a book. Um I've said before, I don't consider myself a religious person. I am very spiritual. And thank you. I am very spiritual, and I just, I'm sorry, y'all, I lost my train of thought. And some distractions. See, things be distracting you from your goal, from your trying to stay focused. It be distractions, okay? But yeah, I consider myself a spiritual person, and so I have not. I can't say that I can quote you a bunch of Bible verses, or that I know the Bible very well, because I don't. But there's a lot of times, like, I receive messages, or I'll receive what I call, downloads, and there will be Bible verses that just reinforce the message that I've already received. So I don't know, y'all. And my bad. I'm just reading back through my notes, but all right, y'all. I'm reading through, because when I wrote down about the story, that happened to me, um, which I really didn't want to tell. I didn't even go into full details. God is saying that I don't have to go into full details, but just for y'all to have gotten the general gist of what I'm saying, which is that how God just be protecting us when we don't even know. And that situation, even, not only did it show me just how much God was protecting me, it also revealed to me the type of person I was dealing with. Like, God reveals certain things to us through certain situations, and it's not always the most favorable situations. It's not always that everything is all going all good when God speaks to us. A lot of times God speaks to us the most when we're going through the roughest times in our lives. And then when he gets us through those rough times and everything is all good, the sun is shining, we're smiling, and we have all this joy, a lot of times we can forget what he brought us through. We can forget to thank him, to give him the glory. And that's the time when we really need to be showing our gratitude, is when the sun is shining, when we are smiling, when we are feeling our best. That's really the time when we need to be giving God all the glory, baby, giving him all the praise, because we wouldn't have gotten there without him, without the things that we've been going through. Okay, is there somebody I see? Okay, y'all. So I'm getting requests, but I don't know if these are really people or bots. trying to join. I don't mind if somebody wants to join and, give their opinion and we can have a discussion. But I just don't know if it's a bot or if it's a real person. So if it's a real person and you're trying to join, you want to chat, put something down in the comment section so I can know that it's really a real person. Okay, because I don't mind bringing people on here. I love having, hearing people's point of view, people's opinions. So if somebody is really trying to join, y'all put something down in the comments because I wouldn't mind talking to somebody. It can feel a little weird just talking to the screen sometimes. Okay. So y'all talk to me. If somebody wants to join, give some opinions. Okay. We were just talking about religion versus spirituality. And I was just, explaining my experience, my different experiences that I've had that have brought me closer to God and, you know, and, I don't know, I guess even like with all this, I think I've even been afraid to kind of speak on my spirituality because of my upbringing. Because of what I was exposed to, like as far as, Christianity and as far as what people said when I was younger, it wasn't until I was older that I started getting my own understanding, doing my own research. But, once I started getting my own understanding and having my own beliefs that differed from what I was taught or what I saw, it kind of brought up some anxiety and some fear in me to even, be open about it because like it's a natural human thing to feel fear of rejection or fear that, you know, we're going to be judged for our beliefs because we've seen how they eat people up. We've seen how they tear people down when their beliefs differ from the crowd or like just even simple things. We've seen how people can be just so mean and vicious, like for no damn reason. I think some people just wake up miserable. Like, are you that miserable with your life that you gotta just cause misery to everybody? They do say misery loves company, but baby, like, so it's a natural, I think it's a natural, feeling to come up like fear and anxiety when you are learning new things that maybe don't align with beliefs that you've grown up around. I think there's a natural fear and anxiety. So that's something that I've been just working on releasing because God has showed me who He is in my life, and God has shown me plenty of times, given me plenty of signs that I am on the right path and on the right track. And it's honestly a constant battle. It's not easy at all. So, people can be like, it's all love and light in this on this healing journey, this spiritual journey. It's all love and light and peace and hair grease and all that bullshit. No, it's not all that. It takes a long time to get there sometimes. Like there's a lot of challenges that you have to face and go through just to help you evolve. And everybody's, journey looks different. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, there's good times, there's bad times, okay? But the whole point is to cultivate an internal peace and an internal joy. And for me, I know I could not have gotten there without the help of God. And that's just how I know how real God is. And that's why I talk about God so much, because He has done so much for me. And it's nothing to do with religion, but I just feel like a lot of times people have you hear people say certain things and it kind of just makes you maybe not want to voice your opinion, or just shuns you away from maybe church or from a certain religion. It's just, I don't know. The type of God I serve is a God about unconditional love, a God that is all inclusive, not a God that's going to condemn people for making certain choices or use the divine wisdom to look down their nose on other people, because bottom line is we're not better than nobody. We not better. I'm not better than nobody. I'm not better than somebody who has no clue about God, who hasn't had any true experiences or feel like they haven't had those experiences or tapped into that side of them. I'm no better. I'm no better. I've been through shit just like you've been through shit. I still struggle with stuff just like you still struggle with stuff. I'm not always happy and peaceful. I mean, we're human. We're human. Okay. But no. And so I think I kind of like the things I was, thinking out loud that's in my journal. I've kind of been touching on just for it coming up just naturally. Um, but I'll give you guys another example of um like just how God just always reminds me that I'm not alone and that He is listening to me. Okay, I remember one time there was some fraudulent activity on my bank account. Okay, somebody had, I guess they duplicated my card somehow. And actually, I was coming out of like Barnes and Nobles or something, and I got a notification about a fraud thing. I was going into Five Below. I got a notification about some fraud. I looked on the thing, and it was so many transactions back to back, and it like in totality it was like more than $1,000. It was thousand. Like I don't know if it was like more than 2,000, but it was a big chunk of change. Okay. And at first I was stressing out because I'm like, shoot, I gotta pay my bills. I got bills coming up. But I'm like, okay, I know the bank is gonna give it back to me, but at this point, there's nothing that I can physically do. It's out of my control at this point. Now I gotta be patient and wait till they put the money back in my account. So, I prayed about it and I said, you know what, God, I surrender this to you. Like, I don't want to stress about it and I don't want to be overthinking about it. I surrender this to you. I trust that you're going to do what you need to do. Everything is going to be fine. Okay. And that's not always easy. Surrendering is not always easy because, shoot, sometimes when you feel like you really need something, it's like you can't stop thinking about it. But honestly, overthinking stuff can push things further away because it's like now you're operating from a place of lack. So that's what I try to tell myself, like, okay, don't operate from a place of lack. I said I surrendered to God, so let me give it to God and truly leave it in His hands, right? So I was, starting to stress out a little bit. Like, okay, Lord, like, all right, it's been a minute. Now, when is money coming back? These bills coming up. The dates are getting close. Where the money at? You told me it's in your hands and I'm going to be all right. But these dates getting mighty close, baby. And the money still ain't there. So what we going to do? What we going to do? So once I start stressing, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, you know what, God? I'm sorry. I said, I surrender to you. I said, I give this to you. And I don't have no reason to stress. I don't got no reason to worry. So I told myself, you know what? You said you gave it to God. Leave it alone. Let's do something else to, take our mind off of it. Whatever. Y'all. And at that point, it had been like a week, maybe 2 weeks. It may have been 2 weeks. I really don't know exactly how much time because that's how much I was trying not to attach to a certain outcome and a certain time frame. Okay. So, once that time passed and then I had that little trip and being, stressed out and then I apologized like, okay, Lord, I said I give it to you. Like, all right, fine. Y'all, when I say the very next day, the money was in my bank account. God be like, girl, shut up. What is you stressing for? I told you I got you. God be having us sweating to the last minute, come through nick of time every time. Every time. And there's so many times in my life where God has came through right in the nick of time, and I be trying not to sweat, y'all. Having the faith of a mustard seed, okay? I be trying not to stress, and sometimes things just get the best of us, okay? Because we are freaking human, and sometimes things just get the best of us, and you be trying to keep your faith, and it seems like things are just going wrong. Everything it seems like it's falling apart in your life, but a lot of times things don't even be falling apart. They be falling right into place, because he has never taken anything away from me that he has not replaced with something better. Okay? God has never took me through something where I couldn't learn a valuable lesson from that thing. Even if that shit broke my heart, I learned a valuable lesson. And these are lessons that I've had to learn on my journey in order to grow. Growth can be uncomfortable. Growth can be scary as hell, because growth means getting out of your comfort zone. Growth means doing things like this. I'm on here talking live, and I never saw myself doing anything like this because I've always hated public speaking. But God was like, bruh, it don't matter, because people need to hear your story. You got some stuff that people need to hear, that people can relate to. You can help some other people. So you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to get over that fear. You're going to have to put yourself out there. So that's what I'm here doing, y'all. So I'm not here to convince you guys that God exists. I'm not here to convert you from being religious to being spiritual. I'm just here to tell my story and share it, because I know there's other people that may also be struggling with, maybe you grew up in a Christian family or a very religious family, and now you're starting to have some beliefs or some curiosities after you've been told, like, well, you shouldn't question that. This is like this because this is how it's always been done. This is what you taught, so this is what you follow. Sometimes we're taught not to, venture out and really understand things on our own. We be practicing stuff and don't even know why we're practicing it. Believing in stuff just because somebody else told us that that's what we should believe. So I just want to encourage people to find your own way, and find your own way back to yourself. I mean, and naturally, I feel finding your way back to yourself is going to lead you back to God, back to the universe, back to whatever you subscribe to, back to your religion, if that's what is for you. But the important thing is to find your way back to yourself, baby. Because that's what this life is all about. Finding your way back to yourself, and other things will begin to fall in line. Okay? Other things will begin to fall in line. Okay? And I just want to thank you guys so much for being here with me. I thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here with me. This is something that I'm still going to be trying to do every week. I'm still trying to, build a community where people can feel free to be themselves and have a safe place to express yourself, to be vulnerable. Okay. You need advice, you need to vent, somebody to talk to, feel free. I would love to hear from you. Email me at healingempress89@gmail.com. I'm sorry. Okay, Andrea. Okay. Oh wait, hold on, y'all. My bad. It's asking me. My live is gonna end in a few minutes because it's almost been an hour. Okay, my bad. But yes, as I was saying, need advice, you trying to vent, you just, need to get some things off your chest. Shoot, if you want to be featured here and have a discussion with me, I would love to meet some of my followers. I would love to meet some of my supporters. That would mean the world to me. And if you guys want to be on the live with me, we can have a live discussion, have a conversation, introduce yourselves. I would love that. But email me, healingempress89@gmail.com. Okay. And I do have some things that I am working on and that I'm excited about, that, God is, leading me to do. I'm working on some things, and yeah, I'm just hoping to continue growing this community, and I'm hoping that you guys will start sharing your stories with me, and that I start hearing from y'all. Looking forward to that, and I hope y'all have a beautiful night. Okay, I hope y'all have an amazing night. Thank y'all for being here. Be easy.